Hello, welcome to Utah Reflections Online. Today we're going to talk about how to submit a Reflections entry. First thing you will need to do is go to utahpta.org. In the upper right corner there is a little person icon. You'll click on that and it will take you to where you need to sign in. If you do not have an account on utahpta.org, you will need to click on the Register tab. From here, you just enter your information, your first name, last name, PTA position. This can be something as simple as a parent or a student, and an email address. Click on I'm Not a Robot and create new account. You will get an email asking you to click on a link to create a password. If at any time you forget your password, you can reset it by clicking on the Reset Password tab. Once you have your user information, click on the Sign In tab, enter your email or username, your password, click on I'm Not a Robot, and click on Log In. You're now logged into utahpta.org. To get to Utah Reflections Online, go back to the person and click on Reflections. And we are at Utah Reflections Online. To submit an entry, you will simply just go to the light blue button that says Submit Reflections Entries. We'll click on that button. You have not submitted any Reflections entries yet. Click the Add button to submit a Reflections entry, and that's what we're going to do. So we'll click on the green Add Entry button. Fill out the form below to submit your Reflections entry. Required fields are marked with a red asterisk. All entries must follow the Reflections program rules, including rules for specific categories, which are available on the Reflections rules page. If you want to see those rules, simply click on the link. It'll pull up a new tab with a list of all of the rules. The entry form asks for the same information that has previously been asked on the paper form. Only it is more condensed and only asks the specific information that is needed for the category you're entering in. First thing we need to do is enter the student information. We're going to enter the first name of the student and the last name of the student. We'll want to enter their grade and their age. You'll need to enter the parent or guardian information. We'll need their full name, the email address, a phone number, and a mailing address. The address is used if an award needs to be mailed to the student. While a personal address is preferred, the address to the school can be used if necessary. Under the school information, you will select the student's school from the drop-down menu. There are several schools in Utah with the same name, so make sure you're selecting the correct school with the correct city. Then you're going to choose the grade division the student is in. Under entry details, you'll enter the title of the work. Test entry title. This is required. You'll type the artist statement. This must be between 10 and 100 words. If the artist statement is too long or too short, it will not be accepted and you will be prompted to lengthen or shorten the statement. The statement below the artist statement box says, describe this artwork and how it relates to the theme. It must be completed by the student. Parents may type for K through 2nd students, but type exactly what they say and do not edit their statement. It must be between 10 and 100 words. The nice thing is it gives you what your current word count is, how many words you have remaining, so you can kind of keep track of where you're at. At this point, you'll select the category that you want to enter. We'll go ahead and do dance for right now. Then we are going to come down here and we have it listed as for dance choreography. We're going to choose our file. Now the one thing to look at down here is it says allowed file types. We can upload an MP4, an MOV, or a WMV. The maximum file size is 1 gigabyte. So we're going to choose file to find the file on our computer. have to remember which one. These are entries from last year. So we will select this one. It's taking it a second. Okay. Please click the upload button now so your video file can begin uploading while you complete the form. The nice thing is it will let you finish filling out the form while the video uploads in the background. So we're going to click on upload. And then while it's uploading, we can just kind of do our thing. So this is the background music. You will need to enter the artist and title. You will also say that this entry complies with all of the dance category rules. If you need to remember what those rules are, click right there. It'll bring it up, our list of rules in a new tab. If an entry requires a consent form, you will need to fill out this section. A consent form is required for any person other than the student submitting the artwork who is recognizable in image or voice in the artwork. Consent forms and consent form guidelines are available on the Reflections Forms page. If the dance entry in this case only has the student who is submitting the artwork performing the dance, it does not need a consent form. However, if there is any other person in the film or in the video, the entry does require a consent form. To get the consent form, you'll go to the Reflections Forms page. Right here where it says consent form, you will click on this document, and you will need to print this out. You will need to write the name of the student submitting the entry, write the names, and get signatures from parents of any minors who are in the video, and if there are any adults, have them sign down here. You'll print that form out. You will then you can scan it in to your computer, or you can simply take a picture of it with your phone. You'll save that file, and then we'll upload it here the same way that we did with the entry. Right here where it says participants' names, you will enter the name of everybody whose name and signature appears on the consent form. Pretty simple. They just want to know the names of any individuals other than the student submitting the artwork whose voice or image is recognizable in the artwork. It's really easy to get these files. You can simply just use a smartphone or a scanner to capture the completed consent forms and attach them here. Multiple participants can sign a single consent form, so you don't need a separate form for every single person. Okay, the terms and conditions. This is where the parent or guardian certifies that they give permission for their student to enter the Reflections program and that the rules have been followed. So if you are the student's parent or guardian or the student, you'll click here. If you are a volunteer and you're helping a student do this, then you will need to make sure you have a signed entry form from that parent or guardian. I think that 99% of everybody who enters through Utah Reflections Online will be a parent or the student. When the form is complete, click Submit. If there's a large media file, it can take a little bit of time to upload, so be patient, but you can see how quickly that one uploaded. Okay, it's been uploaded, it's all here. Right now it's being processed, but once it's ready, it will show up here and you can come back and look at it. Let's submit a new entry. We'll go back to our person, click on Reflections, go back and click on the light blue Submit Reflections Entries. Now I've already submitted one entry, and so it's going to show up here in my list. We're going to submit a new entry. So once again, we'll click on the green Add Entry button, and we have the same entry form that we had before. So once again, let's say you have another student or a friend that you're entering for somebody else. It's in 3rd grade, and I don't know how old 3rd graders are, 7. Parent and guardian information is fine to stay the same if it's the same parent. I'm going to put them in the same school for now, just because it will make it easier for us. Change the grade division. We're going to have test entry Title 2. The artist statement, again, it's the same thing. It has to be between 10 and 100 words. Now this is what I want to show you. When you click on the category, if you look down here, it tells you the details that you need. So if we want a dance choreography entry to be entered, it's going to ask us to choose the file. We'll upload it just like we did before, and we'll enter the background music. If we want to enter film production, we will have the same choices. If there is no background information, no background music, you can simply just put NA, okay? Not all films have music in the background. If we're using a literature entry for putting this in, you will simply upload the file. Note that it must be a PDF. There are several online tutorials that will help a person save things as a PDF. Don't be afraid to use those. You'll enter the word count. The maximum number of words you can have is 2,000. If you're uploading a music composition entry, you will choose the audio file. Now remember, these have to be audio files. So it's an MP3 or an M4A. If it is a middle and high school division, music notation is required. Also needs to be PDF. It can be handwritten or it can be generated with a computer file. The computer program, it just has to be saved as a PDF to upload. For photography, you can upload a JPEG or a PNG file of the art. You do need to put in the width and the height of the entry. For 2D visual art, you will upload a picture of the art that's going to be used for judging. Again, a JPEG or a PNG. You're going to write in here what kind of materials were used, whether it's crayon or pencil or charcoal or whatever you use to make your entry. You will put the height and the width of the art there as well. And then for 3D art, you're going to upload 3 to 5 photos of your artwork from various angles to be used for judging. If you can, please include a ruler or a coin so that the judges can kind of get an idea of the scale. Allowed file types for your pictures is JPEG and PNG. You'll choose your different files and upload them like you do the others. The materials used, put if it's clay, if it's string, whatever you use to create the entry, and then the dimensions. Notice that we have 3 possible measurements because we're dealing with 3-dimensional projects. Okay, so for this one, we're going to enter a literature file. So we come here, and I'm going to find my literature. Let's use this one. Okay, please click the upload button now so your file can be validated. Basically, the system is checking to make sure your file is in the correct format. We've changed the number of words to be what it is. It complies with the rules. It doesn't need a consent form, and we're good to go and submit this. I'm going to do one more entry for you so that you can walk through this one more time, and you can see here we have the actual entry showing up right there. Let's do one more entry. So we're going to go back up to our person, click on reflections, go back to our light blue submit reflections entries, and you can see now I have 2 entries here. We're going to add another entry. Okay, this one will be for Jane Brown. We'll say she's in 10th grade and is 16. We'll leave all of that information the same. And again, for this, and when you're doing it, it will all be for the same school. So we're going to keep going for Salem Hills High. And this will be a high school. And this is test entry title 3. There's the artist statement. Again, you'll want the parent or the student will type that out. And this time, let's upload a photography entry. So we are going to choose our file. Use this one. We're going to click on upload. And the measurements on this are going to be 11 by 8. I'm not sure what the dimensions are for real of this, but we'll use that. Does not require a consent form. And we're going to click on submit. I hope you can see how easy it is to submit these entries. It really shouldn't take you more than just a minute or two to upload all of this information. The mobile version allows parents and students to enter on a smartphone, which makes the process even faster. We hope the tutorial was helpful. Watch the other videos for details on judging and managing entries as the reflection specialist for your school.